Welcome everyone to Sarah and Sam's sneak peek into coaching. We're super excited that you are listening today just to get a glimpse of what it is that we do so you can see if it would be a good fit for your lifestyle or not. So what we're going to cover quickly is both mine and Sarah's stories and how we got involved and whatnot, and then also go over the specific activities that we do every single day, also how much time that it takes, how we earn money, a couple of the most commonly asked questions that we get, and then lastly, how you can get signed up. So I'm going to dive in first with my story. My name is Samantha Penkoff, and I've been coaching for almost 6 years. In 2 weeks, it'll be my 6-year anniversary. And I started at a time where I was going to the gym at least 5 or 6 days a week, probably for at least an hour and a half, 2 hours. But what I would do there is I would just run and do the elliptical and do all cardio stuff because I was too afraid to use the equipment. And honestly, my goal at the time was just to get skinny and to have a thigh gap and to slim down my muscular thighs. And I thought that cardio was the only way to do that. So I was doing that. On the nutrition side, I was either eating way too little, I was restricting to about 1,000 calories a day, sometimes less than that, or so I was really, really restricting. On the days that I wasn't doing that, I was binge eating, and I was going and getting brownies and cookies and eating everything in the house at one time to get rid of it and then start fresh the next day. So it was really, I wasn't seeing any progress physically or emotionally, nothing. I was just at a standstill for years with this whole mindset. And at the same time, I was working full time. Excuse me, I was working at General Electric after getting my MBA, and I was a CRM project lead. And so it was a cool job, but when it boils down to it, I was mostly just doing Excel work or on calls all day, training people on how to use our system and whatnot. And so it wasn't very fulfilling. And I was like scraping by, having to pay all of my student loans and bills and all of that. And so it just happened to be a time that I ran into one of my friends from college, and she had lost 20 pounds, and she said she did it at home with at-home workouts and following the meal plans and whatnot. And I was super afraid because I thought I was so into the gym life, right? Of like going to the gym and going to all of the classes and whatnot, that I thought my concerns were that I would get dizzy watching like the TV if I was the one jumping up and down and the TV was staying the same. I didn't think that the trainers would be as motivating. And so, but I gave it a shot anyways because she looked so phenomenal. And that was the turning point of everything for me. I started to lose weight. I started to feel amazing. I broke my addiction to the scale. I was eating more. I still remember asking my coach, are you sure I should be eating 1,600 calories? Like, is that too much? And she was like, no, just trust the plan. And so that was when at the end of, I'm dating myself now, back in the day, it was all DVDs. And so at the end of each DVD, there was a sizzle reel for the summit event, which we'll talk about later. But it's just a whole community of coaches working out with celebrity trainers and getting training and just having a blast and having that girl tribe, if you will. And there are men too, of course. But I was in a place where I wanted more girlfriends. And so that's when I decided to sign up to coach. And I've said to myself, if I make it 6 months in and I don't break even with the bundle that I bought to sign up, or if I'm just not having fun, I'll quit. No strings attached, no guilt or anything like that. And so here I am 6 years later. I'll talk a little bit more about my financial progression a little bit later, but it's been more than I've expected. My favorite part now is the community. In the beginning, when I first started, it was the trips. I said, if I were to sign up, I'm going to go on all of the trips that they offer, and I'm going to earn an income out of this. And I've done all of the things. So we'll get more of that later. But Sarah, share your story with us.
Well, thanks, Sam. So my story is similar. So right now I'm doing coaching kind of part-time. I'm still doing the kind of office job life. So I got into coaching because of Samantha, obviously. So I would say in January 2019, my husband was traveling a lot and I was really busy with work, and it was so cold. I'm in Canada, so there's a lot of snow and ice and winter, and I think I was just like completely burning out. I hadn't been going to the gym regularly for about a year. I would kind of go or kind of think I was going to go and then get anxiety, not be able to wake up and just be like not able to do what I wanted to do. I would be too tired, and I found it was so stressful, the process of having to get my bag packed, get up early in the morning, make the commute time to the gym, and then make the commute time to work. And then, you know, just getting to the gym when it was like cold, there was nobody there. It was like dark. And I don't know, I created this whole like negative, like it felt like a negative experience to me. Whereas when I started going to the gym years ago, I liked it, but I was a lot younger back then. I didn't have, you know, the things I have now, like a family, kids, a really busy, you know, full-time job. So I think I was trying to maintain that, you know, 2 to 3 hours a day of gym with this life. And I was just like, and on top of that, I was never eating enough calories to be able to sustain this. I was thinking the similar mentality to Samantha that, you know, I have to be skinny. I can't eat this. I need to restrict. And I would go through processes of, you know, eliminating certain groups of foods. And then, you know, you can't do that. You have to find a balanced diet. So I never had that structure. And also with my workout plans too, it was all about bodybuilding. Like I was trying to just bodybuild, but the problem is you can't gain muscle weight and be healthy if you're not eating enough. You're going to actually do the opposite effect. Your body's going to try to like eat itself. So, like if you're not eating enough. So I found that I was never really gaining enough muscle, and I was really tired all the time. And, you know, I was just at the point where I was kind of giving up. And then I thought to myself, wait, I remember a product I tried a few years ago that made me feel amazing. I'm like, what was that? Okay, it was called Shakeology. And then I remembered that a few months ago, I had a Beachbody On Demand membership, but I never used it. I was one of those people that, I bought it without the help of a coach. And I figured, maybe I'll use it here and there. And I just wasn't using it. But then I remember Samantha had reached out to me by email and a few months earlier, and she's like, oh, you know, you see you're up for renewal. Do you also want to do this and join a group? And I was like, no, you know, that's not for me. And so I said, I'm going to find that email and I'm going to respond and say, hey, how can I get Shakeology for cheap? I said, there's got to be a way cheaper that, you know, it can be affordable for me. I said, I have a pretty good job right now. What can I do? And she said, oh, well, it's this much and if you do this, and I have this challenge group. And I thought, okay, I'll try it. Fine. And I started doing Transform 20, which was the first workout I ever did. And it was a step workout, completely different than the bodybuilding type workouts I'd ever done. And I loved it. It was 20 minutes a day. And I was seeing like a lot of change in my body. And I was shocked at that because I'm like, wait, I used to go to the gym 3 hours a day and I wasn't seeing these types of results. And I'm actually enjoying this. I'm in my house. I'm with my dog. I'm in the comfort of my home. Like, I'm like, wow, this is possible. Okay. And then I was kind of really hooked. But at that point, I was doing what's called discount coaching. So just meaning that I was signed up, my dog's right here. I was signed up just for the discount. So meaning that I was getting Shakeology at a really reasonable price, along with another product I really enjoy called Energize. And early access to programs, a lot of benefits, access to the community, to the Fit Squad Nation. And I was really enjoying that at that point. And Samantha kept saying, well, hey, you know, why don't you share your story? And I was like kind of not even on social media at the time. And I'm like, I don't know. And then I finally decided, I think it was in April, that, you know what, sure, I'm going to go on. I'm going to try this. I'm going to give it a few months. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to share my story. I'm going to sign up for Instagram. I'm going to learn all these things because I really wasn't social media savvy. And so I did. I spent a good few weeks getting prepared, starting an Instagram account, starting a Facebook account that was geared towards coaching. And I just started reaching out, following the training that Sam provided, which was awesome. And with her guidance, I was inviting people and to our community and just showing people that, hey, this is how I did it. If I can do it, I'm just a normal average woman, like, you know, working, busy family life, you know, nothing special here. Like if I can do it, then you can do this. And I just wanted to share how I was able to change my mindset and also how I felt much healthier with these, like with Shakeology. Like it really does help curb your cravings for sugary foods. And it's just amazing how much you get in that like little scoop, you know? And so I just kind of wanted to share that with everybody. Like, this is what I'm doing. And so far I have really enjoyed it. I went into it thinking, so I'm probably not going to do well at this. I'm really not good at speaking to people, but I've actually done really well. I'm pretty close to being a diamond level now, and I'm pushing to get to my diamond level. And that's one of my goals now. And, you know, yeah, like Sam said, she'll talk about her income progression. She's been doing this for 6 years. I've been doing this for maybe just under a year. So, my income progression is not as big, but it's still pretty significant considering that I do this part-time from my phone. So, I mean, this is definitely something you can do either from your, either full-time or part-time and still, make some money at it if you want. My goal was just to cover my supplements each month. So that was my Shakeology and my Energize. And, periodically I'd buy other things like, pumpkin spice Shakeology or early access to programs. So my goal was, cover that. And then whatever else you have, well, that's just extra money in the bank. And I've done that and more. So for me, that was my goal, and I'm meeting it. And also I'm meeting these amazing community of women. So I love the mentoring, because for me, I get these messages sometimes in the morning. It's like, oh, Sarah, thank you so much. You're so inspirational. Thanks for your great coach. And I'm like, wow, okay, I'm making a difference from my posts, from my sharing my experiences. And for me, that's extremely rewarding, because I really want to help people. I don't really help people sitting from an office all day. Obviously, it's my job, I do it, but this gives me a little bit more of a rewarding feeling, and I'm really enjoying that. So that's pretty much my story. I'm here, I'm loving it, and I'm actually going to be starting to work on Monday. So I'm going to be posting my struggles and my sweating, and it's going to be painful, but I'm loving it. So yeah.
Awesome. I love hearing your story, and we do kind of have similar stories. And if any of you guys are guessing, and we'll get into this in a little bit too, but like thinking that you don't have the social media account or the followers or anything like that, Sarah literally started from zero. And she's like one of the most successful coaches on our team right now. So getting into what we do as wellness coaches. So first and foremost, it's all about your journey, your nutrition, your wellness, your fitness, your mindset, all of that. So you by no means need to be doing super intense programs. Sarah and I gravitate towards high intensity and like weightlifting and things like that. But we also have yoga, we have beginner dance, we have anything that you need, and you can make your own schedule. You don't have to work out 6 days a week or 5 days a week or anything like that, but just prioritizing your fitness and also your nutrition. And we have, like Sarah was mentioning, those challenge groups or accountability groups where you basically just post in there and you can share your sweaty selfies. You can share the days that you're struggling. You can share the days that you're really pumped up, or you can just be a fly on the wall, totally up to you, but really just diving into your own journey. The next thing that we do is we share our journey on social media. We share the good and the bad. We share the days for sure when we are feeling really awesome and maybe lose a couple pounds and, have all of these successes, but people can relate to when you fall off track. They can relate to it being football season and having pizza and nachos for dinner, or having way too many glasses of wine, or skipping workouts and things like that. So we just try and be real. I think of us more as lifestyle coaches and lifestyle brands for our social media. So sharing the good, the bad, but also not all fitness and nutrition. Share, like I love Sarah's shirt that she's wearing right now. Just share something like that. Share your weekend plans, things like that, but just being open to sharing your journey. Now, the more specific things that we do, first and foremost, we expand our network. And so Sarah and I do this on Instagram and on Facebook, and we'll teach you how to do all of that. So we expand our network. Number two, we connect with people. So this is just asking if they're also vegan, or if they also have dogs, or saying that we really enjoy their content or something like that. We just try and build some sort of friendship. Number three is we invite them to learn more about our wellness groups or coaching, or sometimes both. So that's why you guys are listening to us right now, is because we think that you would be an amazing coach on our team. And so we invite people to that. And last, we follow up, because very rarely do people actually sign up when we actually invite them. And we think of inviting as just planting the seed, throwing it out there. Following up is when people have had time to think about it, maybe ask their significant other, and they're ready to go. For me, it took me a couple months to sign up. My twin sister is also a coach. It took her 2 years of watching me do this, being pretty successful, and then she finally signed up. So that follow-up piece is important. And I do want to say that we are not pushy at all. I think the way that we run our team is very friendly and non-invasive. We always just leave the option open. We're never going to like hunt people down, and you'll never feel like you're being pushy or anything by reaching out to people. Now, the time that takes really depends on you and how much time you want to put into it. When I first started, I was also working full time. So I was putting in about an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours a day. I would wake up at 5, but that was mostly just to get in my workout and to plan my day. I would do those 4 activities that I mentioned. During my 1-hour lunch break, I stayed at my computer and did them all. And then 30 minutes at night, I would do either a little bit more of those or just respond to the messages that were coming in. Sometimes it was an hour at night. So that's why I say an hour and a half to 2 hours. But Sarah, she still works full time. So I'm curious, how much time do you put towards your business right now?
So right now on a regular week, I probably put about an hour a day, sometimes an hour and a half a day. But it's off and on. It's like periods, it's during that 15-minute break in the morning, and then during my, lunch hour, and then 15-minute break in the afternoon, and then at nighttime. And it depends on my schedule too. Like if my husband is traveling and I'm not, and he's not here, I can spend a little more time doing my business as opposed to spending time with him. So, it varies, but typically an hour a day. And I try to, be as quick to respond to messages as possible. But, the good thing is that you're always generating content on your social media. So they might see a message from you saying, hey, would you like information? They say yes. And then if you don't respond right away, that's okay, because it's going to give them the opportunity to kind of like creep your Facebook page or your Instagram page, right? And they're going to be like, oh, wow. And they get even more excited. That happened to me with one of my signups. She's really great. She wasn't responding to my messages, but she was online, and she said, hey, I'm so sorry. I got so interested in your Facebook content and the video you sent me on the workout you're doing that I got so distracted and so excited that I forgot to, click this, actually hit sign up. And she's like, I'm doing it right now. But it's just, I just thought that was kind of funny. I'm like, oh, okay. Like that's great. That's the whole point, right? Is we're sharing our journey. So. Mm-hmm.
Love that. And my twin sister that I mentioned before, she had 3 jobs when she started, plus coaching. And so same as Sarah, she did it in like 15-minute blocks here and there, or like when she was Ubering to go to a date or in the bathroom, things like that. So you can definitely make it work with whatever time that you have. Next, some of the most commonly asked questions that we get. One is, I wouldn't be good at this because I'm not a salesperson, or would I be good at this because I don't like selling? And you do not need to be good at selling. In fact, I prefer people who are not salespeople. I actually have had some people that come to me thinking, ooh, I'll be great at this because I'm good at sales. They're never the ones to succeed because they view it in terms of sales versus in terms of actually helping someone and finding that person what they specifically need. So you do not need any sales experience. You do not need to be good at convincing or negotiating or anything like that. We will teach you everything that you need to know to treat each person as an individual and learn more about their goals and recommending something that person would what that person would like to have in their life to help them with their goals. Second is, I'm not fit yet. I need to wait until I'm fit in order to be a coach. And I can understand this because that's what I thought too. That's why I didn't start coaching right away. But now, after being in the business for 6 years and listening to the top coaches, every single one of them say that they're successful because they started coaching on day 1 of their journey. So if you still have weight to lose or muscle to build or a complete mindset shift that you need to make, starting now will allow your followers on all social media platforms to see your day 1, to hear your day 1, and to follow you through that journey rather than waiting until the end game and then just popping up suddenly on social media being like, here's my transformation. That's not as appealing anymore. It used to be, but now it's all about real time, right? And like sharing the whole thing. So you don't have to be fit to be a coach or healthy to be a coach. Just start now and commit to that, and you'll be good to go. And last but not least is not a question that I hear often, but it was one of my biggest concerns because I was in the corporate world. It was that I was concerned that it was going to be a pyramid scheme. And so what a pyramid scheme, if you're not sure, is it's where there's actually no products being transferred. Also, you make commission off of people signing up that don't buy anything. You're just like signing. It's like a people organization with no products or services being transferred. And so you can never earn more than the person that signed you up, basically. So number 1, we obviously have amazing products and services that have transformed both Sarah and mine's life. Number 2, we earn commission. I'm going to get into that next, but we do earn commission. But when somebody signs up, if they don't get anything, we don't earn anything. It's truly our job to mentor you guys to be able to build an income. So we don't just make money off of you just because you sign up. And number three, you can make as much money as you want no matter when you sign up or who you sign up under, which is unlike the corporate world as well. I, again, was in the corporate world, and I would never have made more than my boss, and she would have never made more than her boss. But in this industry, you can. It's all about the number of people that you help and the team that you build, which we are here to help you with. And I know that I'm personally earning more money than people who signed up before me. And the stat that I love to share is there's a coach right within our team that is almost matching my income. And she's like 3 levels below me or something, which I love. It's my goal to mentor all of you to earn my level of income or beyond. And it's starting to happen. And so let's dive into the income. So I was coaching for a year and a half of doing those 4 main things, right? The expanding, connecting, inviting, and following up, doing all of those things for a year and a half in about an hour and a half a day, on days that I didn't want to, on days that I felt sick, on days that I, wanted to take off. But after that, I matched my full-time job's income, which at the time was about 63, I think it was like 63.5. So $63,000 a year. And I had no intention of coaching full time, but when my income got to that level with coaching, I realized I was having way more fun with coaching, helping people rather than just sitting at a phone and at a computer and just doing business that way. But that was also the same time that I went on my very first trip. So another perk that we haven't talked too much about is going on all of the trips. We have at least 2 a year. I go on actually about 4 a year within our organization. And I went on my very first trip after that year and a half. And I realized that, first of all, it was in Cancun, and you walk in there and they just are like giving you drinks and just so nice and taking your luggage. It's like all-star, all-inclusive, amazing resort experience. And so that was all happening. And I met so many people that were not top coaches or anything like that. And some coaches were old, some were young, some were heavier, some were super skinny. There were all sorts of people. Some were female, some were male. And what I learned is that a lot of them were coaching full-time just because they built their income that level. You didn't need to be a certain level to be able to coach full-time. And so that was when it was planted in my head. And then 6 months later, I didn't want to just match my income and stop there. I wanted to be sure that it was secure. And so I kept working and hustling. And 6 months later, I actually doubled my income compared to my full-time job. And that's when I decided to leave GE and coach full-time. So now it's been almost 4 years since coaching full-time. And I should probably say the income disclaimer that we can't guarantee that you're going to have the same level of success, but I can guarantee that Sarah and I are going to teach you the things that we did to get to the level that I am and beyond. So how we earn money. First, we earn 25% of anything that you sell. Second, we earn weekly team cycle bonuses, which is a little bit hard to explain, but basically when you start recruiting coaches and mentoring them, when they start to produce more, you will benefit from that. It's not a direct percentage or anything like that. You truly do have to mentor them, but you will be compensated for that. And then also there are bonuses every single quarter. Once you grow your team to a certain level, it's anywhere from $1,000 a quarter, $5,000 a quarter, $15,000 a quarter, or the highest one it's been up to $70,000, but usually it's between $50,000 to $70,000 per quarter, which is insane. I've personally reached the $5,000 one per quarter. So anyways, there's lots of different ways to earn income. In terms of signing up, there are lots of different ways. I'm going to say this number lightly, that the amount to sign up is $39.95 USD. And so I say that lightly because if you are already a discount member, or if you plan on signing up with a bundle, or if you're in the military or a veteran or a spouse of someone in the military, you don't have to pay that. So you don't worry about that number. Now, the only required recurring fee is $16 a month USD. And what that covers is things like infomercials that you see on TV. We actually get 3 websites that are hosted and ran completely for us. Inventory, that closet back there isn't filled with any inventory. Anytime somebody wants to order something, they go online, and there's distribution warehouses all over the US, Canada, and soon to be France, and in the UK. And so we don't have to worry about any inventory. So things like that, coach relations, all of that is what that $16 a month covers. Now, with that base fee that I mentioned of about $40, to get signed up, you don't get anything. So if any of those criteria didn't match you, we do recommend getting you signed up with something like our workouts or Shakeology or Energize and Recover or all of it. We have a lot of different bundles, but again, we want to learn more about you and what your goals are, because we will say that it's way easier to run a successful business when you are also using the products, but seeing a transformation with the products as well. So we'll work with you individually to see which bundle would be best for you. I think that's it. Oh, Summit was the last thing I want to talk about, and kind of our team culture. So once you get signed up, the next steps is we would add you into our team page called Fit Vibes Tribe. We would also add you into that wellness group that we talked about called Fit Squad Nation. And in Fit Vibes Tribe, you will get the training so that you will be sure on exactly what to do, when to do it, how to do it. And we have training from a lot of different coaches in our network so that you can hear from different people on what's worked for them. So we'll get you started on training right away. We also have weekly calls. We have Monday calls and Wednesday calls. You can join both or just one. Those are really just for a smaller team to learn what's working for other people. We have guest speakers sometimes. Sometimes it's just what we call a power hour, where you just put our head down, do all of the things that we've talked about today on this call, and we work together. And then you get the opportunity with the more people that you help throughout all of this to win those free trips and go to Summit. And that's the event where next year is going to be in New Orleans. We just got back from the Indianapolis trip, and you'll meet celebrity trainers, you get the photo ops, you get really, really good training from top coaches in the business. There's team parties and things like that. So team culture is a big thing. I personally think if you join the right team, then it's such an amazing experience. And Sarah and I would be really honored to be able to mentor you and help you grow whatever business you want, whether you want to coach full time or just do it on the side, that's okay. And we can help you do that. So thank you so much for listening today, you guys. Is there anything else you wanted to add, Sarah?
I would just say that the workouts are amazing. Like, these workouts are extremely well structured, and you can find anything that you like. And they are, I mean, you cannot hire a personal trainer for what you get with Beachbody On Demand for the year for like $100. It's insane. And I would say that, like, you know, it's literally changed my life having access to those super trainers. Like, you literally feel like you're in the room with them. It's amazing. And yeah, we would be totally honored to have you on our team. Samantha is amazing, and the team is great. The culture is so good in this team. And yeah, if you have any questions, please reach out to us.
Perfect. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good day.
Bye.